point that that the one who wants to abide is the mind, and the mind is an appearance. And the more you struggle towards that, the more caught up you are in that mind. But then the ground shifted and says, then it almost, I've had my identity as a spiritual seeker for so many years. So it was like it totally negated that. There's like, the, what is there to no? What is the goal of my life now? How do I function not being a spiritual seeker anymore? You know, that not that being my identity anymore. It's just a sharing.
Look at the nature of the mind. It starts with one problem, receives a solution, and
And
then
then
makes
goes on to the
another
next.
problem out of the solution.
Yes.
Don't let it go on like this, you
No.
know?
Yeah.
And don't take any problem the mind proposes seriously. Let's
Yeah.
say previously it proposed the problem about abidance. Don't take it seriously. Now it's proposing a problem about, okay, my abidance solution problem has been solved, but now there's a new problem about who am I now if I'm not the seeker, or if I'm not the one who wants to abide. So it will just keep on making problems like this. That's why, the direct path really exposes the mind, because
Yeah.
you start to see, you answer a question of the mind, that answer it will take and produce five more questions. You solve one problem of the mind, it will create another. You start to see this really this cannot be done on the conceptual level.
Mhm.
So in regards to that abidance question, you say, like, now, okay, there's a growing noticing that I'm not the one who is so attached to this idea of abidance,
Mhm.
who desires to keep resting in the self. That's a beautiful noticing, because as whom are you noticing that? As whom are you aware of the mind that says, I keep losing myself, I want to abide? As what you are. So that's a beautiful noticing, because it's creating a certain depth in us. Previously, I was the mind, I was identified as the mind who wants to abide and is dissatisfied with being lost all the time. Now a certain depth is developing. I am noticing that I am not this mind wanting, attaching, resisting. I am what sees it, appearing and passing. The Our practice is always be as you are. Be as you are.
Yeah.
It is true now that you're not the mind that is seeking and attached to abiding. But now the mind is posing this, oh, like, if I'm not the seeker, then you know, who am I? You think you're losing yourself, but what is actually happening is, like, you are realizing yourself. You're not losing yourself. You're losing what was never you.
Mhm.
And you say, what's the purpose of my life now? Like, no, you're fulfilling the purpose of your life,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So that's not a problem. We just have to stop relating to ourselves in personal terms.
Yeah.
If we keep conceiving of ourselves personally, then this is a problem, that, oh, I'm not the person anymore. And so that's like, oh, who am I then? It's like, don't focus on what you're losing. Notice what you are realizing about yourself. As we just had this conversation with Majid earlier, honor the highest truth of yourself in any
Yeah.
moment. Then any relative truth is of lesser importance, lesser value. Even the whole like person you believe yourself to be is of lesser value. Like, you're happily give it up. Be as you are, and that is your highest that is life fulfilling its purpose in relative terms. Now, even upon this insight, it will require practice.
Mm.
It will require more seeking. It will require more desire to abide. Isn't that paradoxical? Yes, it is. You will keep having to and wanting to turn inward, abide as yourself, be as you are. But how come, even though I've realized that's not me, you still have to? But once again, always honor the highest truth about yourself. You appear to be these things. That's just the nature of the experience that has become that now. Previously, it was, seeking other things or, but now it has like the nature of your mind is more spiritually inclined, more inward turned. It's still the mind, but it's more spiritually inclined, more inward turned and whatnot. The activity of your body is more like spiritually inclined. You are the seeker relatively. You are the seeker apparently. Let honor that, but always honor the highest truth of yourself. Be as you are. That's the goal of your practice. That is the path and the destination.
So even though the seeking will carry on and the because at times it's so clear you don't need any more seeking, you don't need any more clarification, you don't need any more teachings, you know, and then 5 minutes later, then this it kind of reverts and
Yeah.
suddenly and then you honor the truth and then it so I'm glad to hear that will
Yep. It will
that will
carry on.
carry on.
But I think those moments of total clarity are, although like, it also comes and goes, they reveal to you something which in that moment you really recognize as far more truthful than the appearance of losing yourself and what the mind claims and all these things, right? As you said, it's like
Yes.
it becomes so clear, you don't
Yes.
need any more teachings, you don't need any more even like obsession with practice. It's just you are what you are, and then nothing changes that, right? So even though that may be like a moment of clarity, and that moment of clarity may pass, but what that moment of clarity revealed to you is a really big truth about yourself. And you know it because it wasn't conceptual in that moment. It was prior to concept, beyond all concept. So it's like it's those moments of clarity are revealing something that is ever present, although that moment of clarity may pass, but it's revealing something that is always there. So even when it starts to appear to be missing to you and clouds come back, know that the sun is always still shining. Don't take the clouds so seriously. Because like in the realm of experience, it will be very weather like. Like
Mhm.
it will always be like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. And that will carry on no matter how deeply you are realizing these insights. That's a beautiful aspect of this. So, yes, just always honoring the highest, what life is revealing to you as the highest truth, always resort to that and know on the relative level, all is well. No problem, no issue.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much. That really helps a lot. Thank you.
very good. Thank you.